Well, this record it was a bitch to make for some reason. I mean, we started recording it over 2 years ago.
It was bad timing for one thing. Our record came out right when September 11 happened, and it was weird and awkward for us to go out and try and talk about a pop record or a rock record. I mean, the world changed at that point, and we just kept sort of plugging away, and we went on a tour. And
so we went basically right from the road and back into the studio, because we thought, well, let's do this quickly and let's do it like we do it live, and and try to capture that energy, which is great, except we were sort of stuck with this lack of communication.
Probably the hardest period that this band's ever been in, because we really were struggling to not just get along as people and face this unspoken pressure of making a new record. It was we had no agreement on the musical direction.
And I don't know what happened, but it just started spiraling down and got harder and harder to talk about where the songs were going amongst the four of us. We started arguing.
It wasn't really gelling, like the writing wasn't going so well, we weren't getting on so great.
We got a little despondent and decided to take some time off and kind of reassess whether we wanted to do this at all anymore.
I remember running into a couple fans somewhere. I don't even remember where it was. And they were going on about, hey, how's the Garbage record going? Because we hadn't really told anybody we had gone underground. And I hadn't even thought about it or talked about it for weeks. And suddenly I had to go, oh, yeah, the songs are coming along really good. Let's see, there's Bad Boyfriend has come along pretty good. And I started name-dropping some titles to them. But their enthusiasm was inspiring. At that point, we had started talking about getting back together and trying to work on some songs.
So we eventually did that and had a big set to, and realised that actually this was something that we really cared about and we wanted to pursue, and we were still excited about it.
After that, it just started going much, much better. Turned up the guitars, started doing a lot more things, kind of like live takes.
We stripped a lot of the so-called artifice away, a lot of the loops and samples and so on and so forth.
We sort of finally got an album that sounds more like we do live. And, we're basically a loud guitar rock band, and we've gotten really good at that.
Well, Bad Boyfriend was it just started out as a really simple guitar riff and remained that, thankfully. Probably the simplest song we've ever recorded.
For whatever reason, sometimes it's really hard to get the one thing that's going to spark how the rest of the song is going to turn out. And I think what sparked it was having Dave Grohl come in on drums, which was a brilliant idea that Butch had.
When Dave walked in, it was such a breath of fresh air, because he's got this great vibe. I remember he looked at Duke and said, what should I do in the middle? Should I go for it? And we had no idea what that meant. We're like, yeah, go for it. And so in the middle of that break, he just does this crazy Keith Moon thing, and then he started doing all these like metal fills, and those are things I would never play on the drums or even think of playing, and so all of a sudden it's like it gave the song a whole different vibe. Run Baby Run was a song idea that Duke brought into the band. Well, we worked on that thing till it was almost dead. It took a lot of prodding, but we did it.
And I think the song is basically about just not conforming, being expected as you go through life to behave a certain way. And I think Run Baby Run is a plea to run from that and run with your life. Take it wherever it takes you.
Right Between the Eyes is like probably the first song that we had going on this record from way back when we started, and it still weren't totally happening. It was a matter of just basically turning off just about everything that we had going. So it was one or two or three guitars instead of 800 or whatever it was.
The lyrics are great. Her vocal's really powerful, and
I'm sort of loath to talk about lyrics. I try to not talk too much specifically about the meaning of lyrics, because I always get really bummed out when I think a song is about one thing and then I discover it's about something completely different.
Why Do You Love Me is an example of a lot of our songs don't totally come together until they're almost finished, and that's another one I cannot wait to play live. 'Cause, it's loud guitars. It's really fast. I can't wait to see Butch try to play that speed live the whole time too.
I'm dreading playing Why Do You Love Me Live because it's like 160 BPM with all this syncopation, and I'm not in shape to do that at this very moment.
It sounds like a girl group song, sort of sped up. Girl group on speed kind of thing.